Andreja Pejic. After making her start as a high-fashion androgynous model, Australian Andreja Pejic has become one of the most talked about transgender models of today. In an era that doesn't seem to be shaped by traditional constraints, diversification is flooding the industry.
Growing up, people don't really tell you, oh, maybe you're trans.
And Pejic is certainly a face at the forefront and continues to smash gender barriers, paving the way for more diversity in the future.
I've had a very interesting life story and a very interesting journey through more than one gender.
Andreja Pejic was born in Bosnia-Herzegovina on the 28th of August 1991 and was originally known to her Bosnian parents as Andre. Her grandmother, divorced mother, and older brother fled their home country and migrated to Melbourne after deciding that their living situation during the Bosnian War was unsafe.
I read that you were discovered at McDonald's. Did you ever have to make the fries or flip the patties?
Well, I had to serve the food. I brought the food, I brought it.
Pejic soon became a star.
Gender-bending sensation Andreja Pejic taking the spotlight at Myers Burke Street store.
Always being one to test gender boundaries, Pejic started off modelling for Jean-Paul Gaultier in both women's and men's shows.
He's very beautiful, and the best thing about him, as he says himself, is that he's two people for the price of one. Perfect.
And shortly after was appearing in men's shows for Mark by Marc Jacobs.
There was just a feeling like, this boy was so beautiful, and I don't know, I think we live in a modern world and I hate labels. I hate when people say something is masculine or feminine or...
Pejic's name and success skyrocketed months after appearing on the runways and was soon seen on magazine covers all over the world. But like many of her transgender counterparts, her career was not without some struggles. Her name was synonymous with controversy in 2011 for her cover for New York magazine Dossier Journal, because the cover featured a luscious-haired blonde Pejic removing her top. Because she was considered transitioning at the time, the cover was deemed too risque for certain bookstores in the States. The following year was easier for the young trans supermodel, as her sex change was openly discussed and applauded more than criticized. Out magazine named her as one of their 100 most compelling people of 2011, and this became one of the many awards she was recognized for. After overcoming many obstacles that normally wouldn't have been a problem for the traditional model, Pejic's beauty and talent proved itself. She began receiving opportunities to model for the likes of Jean-Paul Gaultier, Jeremy Scott, and even DKNY. Pejic has dabbled with work in popular advertisement campaigns, cementing herself as a Jack or Jane of all
Beauty
trades.
For me, I guess it's about comfort and it's about freedom. Having fun, and exploring different versions of yourself.
In 2014, Pejic finally underwent sex reassignment surgery, although she knew she had been ready years before actually undergoing the procedure. And the fact that she went through with transitioning under the scrutiny of the public eye reveals her true bravery. She is well loved for being open and relatable.
Amazing. Tea can save a life. It's what the Queen has, for God's sake.
She has overcome any negatives. Proof shown when Pejic featured in the May 2015 American Vogue, the publication's first ever profile of a transgender model. She famously thanked her photographer and some of the people at Vogue, but even more importantly for representing a whole social minority and often forgotten community of women in such an important publication, and for opening the doors for the rest of the fashion industry to do so.
Being an LGBT activist, I wanted to be very honest about my transition. That does sometimes mean that people do kind of put you in a certain box, but I've chosen to share that. I'm more than my nationality, I'm more than my height, and I'm more than my gender at the end of the day.
With the modeling world becoming more diversified, Andreja Pejic is someone who is changing an industry. Without brave individuals pushing conventional boundaries, we will be stuck with the same type of models. Pejic has stayed true to herself, regardless of how it might affect her career, and in doing so, she's changing the game. In fact, Pejic has branched out into the world of beauty.
A little bit about this campaign, Makeup Forever.
Yeah. Well, I'm very happy to announce that I am the face of Makeup Forever. And it's the first time a major cosmetics company has taken on a trans woman. And it's incredible, you know. For me, it's obviously a huge success in my career.
There are now many other transgender models breaking into the fashion and beauty industry, making it clear that she has been a worldwide inspiration.
I think for a long time I guess, worried about looking too masculine or being too tall or having features that are too angular. But yeah, now I think I'm pretty happy with what I have. I mean, I think every woman has insecurities.
Andreja Pejic will forever be one of our favourite it girls for reshaping industry standards and kicking gender stereotypes in the, well, you get the point.
I'm Andreja, and I'm proud.
Too late for, I'm sorry for. The lights went out 'cause you kept cutting the cord, and I started to fade into your grey. See, I finally opened up my